Good afternoon. This is M. Roy Wilson. I was going to do my regular video tomorrow, and it was going to be focused on vaccines. But based on what happened yesterday, the extraordinary events of last night, I felt that I needed to do this video today and make a comment about it. I did send out a public statement about yesterday's riot just a few minutes ago. There really is a lot to be stunned about. I'm really upset because it was an assault on our democracy. I'm upset because law enforcement was ill prepared to protect our capital. And I'm also upset because of the disparity in response to this riot compared to some others in the past, some others in different populations. But I'm also encouraged. I'm encouraged because our Constitution and our democracy held. And I'm encouraged because members of our U.S. House and Senate performed their duty with resolve and courage. And it's a bit late, but I have faith that those responsible for breaking any laws will be held accountable. Now to talk a little bit about the vaccine, all this is on the backdrop of yesterday. Not only did we have the riot, but the COVID death toll surpassed 350,000 people. We had 3,920 people die yesterday in a single day. That's the most in a single day since the beginning of the pandemic. I wrote an op-ed that was published in the Free Press about a week or so ago. And in it, I mentioned, maybe it was about 2 weeks ago now, I mentioned that I assumed that there would be about 10% of the population will have had COVID by midsummer. And so that we would need to vaccinate another 70% to get to about 80% of the population with antibodies to have herd immunity. If things don't change, we're going to get to that 10% well before midsummer. At the time, which was just a few weeks ago, we were at about 5% of the population. Now we're at about 7, maybe even 8% of the population. So something has got to be done to mitigate this rapid spread of COVID-19. Certainly one of the things that we'll be able to mitigate it is the vaccine. I am pleased to let you know that we do have a contract with the Detroit Department of Public Health to administer the vaccine. We will be concentrating first on students and faculty who have clinical care responsibilities, who are seeing patients. But then the governor just yesterday relaxed the criteria for having getting the vaccine to also include age with those greater than 65. So unfortunately, our allotment of vaccine went down by about half. Our limiting factor in terms of how many people we're going to be able to vaccinate is going to be the amount of vaccine that we have available to us. We'll be able to scale up. In fact, I'm also pleased to report that we have a partnership with the Detroit Department of Health to use our health science students, our medical students, nursing students, and pharmacy students to do a mass vaccination, particularly starting off with nursing homes that haven't been done yet. So I think that we'll be able to scale up. We will be limited by the amount of vaccine that we have. But I am very encouraged that we will be able to vaccinate students and staff and faculty that's affiliated with Wayne State. I mentioned to you in a previous video, I think it was the last video, that when my turn came up that I would get the vaccination. I want to let you know that my turn did come up. I was vacationing while I was in Florida over the holiday, and Florida's governor had a different set of criteria than we have in Michigan. They did use age, older than 65, as a criteria early on, and so I was called because of my age. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't jumping lines, so I actually called the University of Miami Health Center where I got the vaccine to make sure that I was not going to be jumping line. They assured me that that was not the case, that I'm eligible, and so I went ahead and got the Moderna vaccine. I've got a video of that, and I'm going to see if we can send that video along with this message.
How was that?
Oh, that's not bad.
One more thing about the vaccine is next Thursday we will be having a town hall about vaccines. I can't remember the time right now, but it's next Thursday. So I encourage those of you interested to please tune in. And then one final thing I just mentioned is that I had said in a previous video that because I'm going to start working on a book that I'm not going to be doing book reviews for a while. Well, it turns out that I read basically every night because my mind is just so active that if I don't read to settle it down, I don't sleep well. And so I read anyway. And so I just finished reading John Thompson's, I think it was called Out of the Shadow. It's a memoir. I enjoyed reading it because you might recall that John Thompson was the coach of Georgetown at a time when I was in high school. So all the players that he talks about, I knew. I played ball with some of them. The different high schools that he mentions, I'm very familiar with. Some of the playgrounds that he mentioned, I'm very familiar with. So it was really pretty interesting for me. But also I decided to read that book because I thought it might be helpful in my book that I'm writing, which also is a memoir. So stay tuned. Again, when it's your turn, please get the vaccine. That's the only hope we have right now for mitigating this really rapid spread of COVID-19. Thank you, and stay warrior strong.